there. Today I'm going to talk about the winter makes I made, even though it's still February. And the reason for this is because where I live, it's in the 60s already. So I don't know how much longer I have of this winter season. So what I like to do is go through these outfits that I made and talk about what I liked about them and what I didn't and what I wear a lot. Starting with Valentine's Day. So this is a top I created for Valentine's Day that I didn't give very positive reviews. I'll link to the review above, but I've really changed my mind. I think the reason I didn't give it such good reviews is because I actually had to alter it around the waist. McCalls A320, I think I forgot to let you guys know that. So this is the tunic dress, and I did some decent amount of alterations with this dress to make it fit. It has a lot of ease in the fabric, which I took out quite a bit, but you can see it still has quite a bit of ease in it. But what I love about this pattern is how many different things you can do with it. So it's got a pin tuck top, very easy to make top, and then you can put trim around the pin tucks so that it really frames it well, and I chose to use a pink trim that it's a little subtle, but I like the way it looks. And then the ruffle skirt I thought looked really cute too. So the longer version has another layer or two, so you can layer this out and it becomes a skirt. Another nice thing about this is you can play with the colors, so you don't have to have the same fabric for the yoke or the ruffles. You can mix it and match it. The other nice thing about this pattern that it has pin tucks on the arm and elastic armband. Originally, I didn't like that feature because I thought it disappeared into the shirt, but I've worn this so much and got a few compliments that I'm definitely going to try this pattern again. If I do it again, I might color block the yoke a different color than the ruffles. And if I do the dress, I might try a couple of tiers and a couple of different fabric choices. So this was a little challenging to put together. Not so much difficult as just time consuming because of the pin tucks. But I definitely like it and consider this a win now. So next up is something I made early in the season. This I call my comfort dress. And it's using very easy Vogue 91.99. This is a knit seam princess dress. I've made 3 of these before, so this is my 4th one. And it's just so easy to make. The neckline is just bias tape, and then you just sew all the seams together. I personally did not have any fit issues, even though I'm a bit busty. This fits me really well. The fabric choice for this one is a soft multicolored jersey, but I've also made it in several other different kinds of knit. This is a knit pattern. This is another pattern where you can actually play with the seams. In one version I made, I put ruffles in between the seams, and I thought that was a really nice look. You can also fool around with some trim. If I do it again, I will try to put trim piping down the seams right here. I think that would be really fun, or maybe some lace. This is a very comfortable casual look, and one that I have worn around the house many times. Okay, next up we're getting into my Mimi G jackets. I made 2 Mimi G S8848 jean jackets. Now these were a trip. I made one for myself and one for my husband. And I say they were a trip because this is the first time I've done top stitching, and it was incredibly time consuming. But as you can see with the, I'll show you this one first. With the choices of fabric I used, you can really, it doesn't have to be a jean jacket. It can be a wool jacket in this case. This is 100% black wool, one for my husband, and it is super soft and comfortable, and he's actually worn this a few times. So it has the typical jean jacket snaps, but he's not much of a blue jean person, so it's just a little more sophisticated, something that you can do using this pattern. The back is pretty straightforward. Again, it looks really nice in the wool, and the arms also have the snaps, and everything has the top stitching all around it. So this turned out really well, and in fact it actually fits me too, although I haven't worn it yet. It really, he tells me it's really nice and warm, so it kept him warm in the not so cold winter months here. So that was the first version I made. And the second version is actually using the same pattern. So again, this pattern is super versatile if you get a little creative, right? So it's a very light dobby, and this one is actually two-tone, or you might even say it's multi-tone, because it has pink and yellow in it, and it really stands out in the sun. It's a very pretty fabric. And what I chose to do with this one is I did a little color blocking with this. So in order to spice it up a bit, I took this brown slub dobby, same thing, it's a tan and a brown, and did the underarms, the cuffs, the under the pocket, and also the back. So this is a very good pattern if you have some scraps, because these pieces are all fairly small, and if you want to have like a patchwork jean jacket or something not so patchworky, but something like this, I would recommend trying this out. Again, top stitching all over, and this one I added the loop. I didn't add the other one, the loop to the other one, because that wool was a little bit too heavy. But definitely one of my favorite jackets. It does take some time, so I'm not sure if I'm going to make it again very soon. Probably maybe in the fall or something like that when I have more scraps. So next is my cape. Let's see, before I show you, this is Simplicity 8263. This pattern has 4 choices. You can make, the cape that I did is view B. It also has buttons that you can put in. So if you want, my cape just has a clasp at the top. If you want buttons, there's a pattern with 4 buttons and 4 pockets actually. I didn't like the way the pockets looked on the pattern. I felt that might distract from the flow of the cape, but it might be something fun to try. It also has more of a sleeve type version and a capelet. So if you don't want the full cape, which I have made here, you can do something smaller in a capelet. Now this material I used is wool. It's got orange and brown, dark brown and tan tweed. It's a very, ow my hair, comfortable fabric, and yeah, I felt like for this project, for this cape, it suited it perfectly. Now I actually lined this. This is a fleece, so this is a polar fleece. This cape is warm, super warm. And I also chose to, instead of sewing everything together, but the lining and the fashion part, I decided to use bias tape. And so I've got orange bias tape running around the whole cape, and that also frames it very nicely. And I really like the way this turned out. The collar is the bottom, it has the orange, and the top is the wool. So it's super fun to wear, but it's not very practical, I'll be honest. I have a lot of fun if you're just walking down the street, or maybe going on a walk or a nature preserve or something like that. Capes are awesome. But if you want to like even wear a purse. It's hard to get over your sleeve, and also when you get in the car, you can't really put your safety belt around it. So there are some issues with capes that I didn't even think about when I started to make this. But still, I love this and plan on wearing it a few times. It's probably not going to be my go-to jacket though. Okay. The last thing I made is the New Look 6585. This I wear all of the time, even in the house if it's a little cooler inside. This is a, they call this is a, I guess it's a coat. It doesn't have any buttons, so it's more like you just throw it on, but this is the longer version with the hood. Actually, all versions have a hood. I did the size extra large, and the varieties have just a shorter version. So you can do knee length, mid knee, and then a waist. I did not add my pockets because I also thought that I just wanted something that was very just polished and nice in the front. And I have, when I usually wear pants that have pockets, so no, this does not have pockets. But you could definitely add them if you wanted to. Again, I chose to put in some bias tape. I am addicted to bias tape, apparently. I use it a lot, but I really like the way it frames this jacket. This is a wool herringbone, and just, you know, your cotton bias tape run around the hem and everything. And I also actually put bias tape around the hood, and inside, let me see if I can show you. Inside I used bias tape on all of the seams. Instead of trying to French seam them, I didn't want to use my serger because I wanted a really nice look. So I put bias tape in all of them. And then if it flaps open, people see a nice kind of a framed cape. Another thing I did with this is, let me show you. Well, I guess I can put it on. It's the sleeves. Now, one thing about this pattern, if you try it, the sleeves are actually pretty baggy and wide. They don't, they don't have any cuffs or anything like that. So I felt like they were just too wide, and that just didn't work out for me. So what I did instead is I bought this this rib knitting that you would usually put on you know, like a sweatshirt or something like that. And I put it at the end, and I just gathered the sleeves. So I love this look. You can also fold this over. And the best part is you can also push it up. So if you are doing something where you don't want, like you're in a snowball fight, I don't know, you can push up your sleeves and you won't get them hanging in everything. Other nice things about this pattern, unlike the cape, you can wear a purse, you can fasten a seatbelt, you can do all those activities that make that other, that cape hard to wear. So I would say that this is the favorite coat I make. I wear it the most, and this is actually the end of my makes for the winter. Going forward, I think what I'll do is, depending on how much I make, I might do a monthly review of what I've made, and either that or I'll take it by the season. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.